Good morning, it's me again, down in the messy basement. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday. I wound up having to just tell myself I needed to just not worry about getting everything done because I wasn't feeling good and I had to take care of myself and make sure that I was remembering to do some things that needed to be done so that I could recover. I have allergies. And it's all the flowers are blooming and it's causing some issues with my sinuses, my nose, or my sinuses, my ears, and apparently my throat. So my ears were draining and I wanted to make sure that I was doing what I needed to help them clean out so that would, um, so that wouldn't become a problem. And, I am feeling better. My throat is less scratchy. Um, Actually slept pretty good, even though some cute little guy that you can see in the background wouldn't let me sleep that much. Um, he was very excited about something, and he does this every once in a while. And I'm not sure if it's because he's part Siamese or if it's like an anxiety thing or if he's just picking up that another storm was supposed to roll through today. I'm not really sure that it was supposed to be as bad as the previous one, which he didn't freak out about at all. But I he's so cute, even though he looks like he's pissed. You cute, Gigi? Are you cute? You are? He always kind of looks like that. He's always got this like stern panther face. He's super cute. He's a Bombay Siamese mix, so he's a very friendly kitty. We love him very much. We're very glad that we saved him. We feel like we saved the right kitty. Um, he does have a little bit of trouble getting along with one of my daughter's cats because they're both abuse rescues. And that can create some anxiety and assumptive. And since they're not people, you can't talk to them and be like, yeah, not everybody's like that, or this this situation that you were in before isn't gonna happen again. Um, they just kind of so we got to get them used to each other, and it's she's not attacking him as much, so that's good. But she'll still hiss at him, which as long as she's not swatting, that's fine. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today. I sold something yesterday, so I only need like I think it's $3 to get to the booth cost, because not all of the monies that I sell goes to me because I'm doing this through somebody else. So there's a booth cost, a percentage, and then they have me pay for the card fees when people use cards for the transactions. It's just easier it's just easier on the company and it's not that much of a fee. So when I get sales, I don't get the whole thing. But I'm getting really close. Like I said, I'm getting really close to my booth cost. And I only need a couple more sales and we're coming into the weekend, so that should be a good thing to do. The only issue I might have is my son-in-law might not be able to take some fresh stuff up to the booth, and I don't know if my daughter will be willing to on her days off. I could talk to her and find out if we can figure something out, but if we have to miss the weekend, it'll be fine. I think because even though I sold something big, I still have several big items at the booth. I still have my Kraken hats, and if they sell, then I'll definitely need to figure out how to get more stuff up there because the Kraken hats are just amazing. But I do have I have blankets, some other blankets up there, so it's not that big a deal. Um, if I can't get up there um to do it. Whoa, my brain is a little funky. It's working much better than it was yesterday, but like I said, there is another storm rolling in. It's not any. I don't think it's expected to be anything too bad, but it still gets me. But yeah, I wish I could do more with my online sales group because I noticed that a lot of people are still more comfortable doing things either online or at a store, but I I can't do Etsy anymore because when they went corporate, it really they just didn't seem to understand who their competition actually is. And they started telling us that we had to give free shipping. We couldn't do like free shipping over for sales over a certain amount, which is what I wanted to do because if free shipping on a sale under $10 is gonna start costing me money, and I don't have money. And then the booth fees were tripled. They won't let me close down my site. They just keep putting on all these fees, and I can't really do Etsy anymore. Wish they hadn't corporatized, but I do understand that the Etsy family probably were having some issues because I believe the founders had died. I'm not 100% sure what actually happened to Etsy, but since they've been corporatized, it sucks. So if you're a small business like me and you can't really do things really fast, or you don't know how to write a PDF to sell your patterns, um, you're not going to do very well on Etsy right now. If you're not established, you're not already making hundreds of dollars, you're not going to do very well on it. I'm not saying don't do Etsy, because who knows, you might be doing something different than I am, and maybe people are more interested in that, um or there isn't like 800 people trying to do the same thing, which I think is kind of what the issue I had, is that my stuff was, except for a specific doll pattern, my stuff was pretty close to what other people were trying to sell. So it was like people were had all these options, and the too many option brain, you kind of, yeah. So yeah, I didn't have that great of luck at with Etsy right after they corporatized. And I have a Facebook sales page, but it seems like one of the issues that Facebook has is that they have arts and crafts sales lumped in with like musicians and like performing arts type things. So they want me to have a 10,000 people following, and I'm not really sure I can how that's supposed to work, because you do have limits on how many followers you're allowed to have, but I'm not sure. I know you limits on friends. I'm not sure if there's what the limits are on followers, because the friends are like 5,000. I'm not sure about the followers, but so until I can monetize, I can't really do that much with my shop, and I have to like clear out my catalog, which I can't do because it's not letting me access it now, and because I pretty much sold everything that's in there. And doesn't matter really, because my customers cannot access my catalog anyway. So I need to figure out what to do with that. It keeps wanting me to boost, but I never have the money. I tried doing a fundraiser and it didn't work. Um, and I don't really know who to talk to in order to figure out if there's a way they could separate arts and crafts from arts and entertainment, to make with a little bit different rules, because I can't monetize it. It's just not that interesting. I can't get 10,000 interests people. Um, but it's just really difficult. But maybe once I start doing better, like at my booth, because there is signs that I am doing better. Because one of the things is we moved here in August, and I haven't really had time to get established. I'm so I'm not getting checks every month yet. And when I do get checks, they don't tend to be very big. But I am doing something, and I like to do it, and I like to be able to pay the booth costs. I have made booth costs almost every month. I've only had 2 months where I didn't, and both booth costs were reasonable. If like if I had to ask somebody to help me out, which I actually did have to ask for the bigger one because I didn't have the money. Um, but um, but yeah, I like doing the booth, even though I don't make that much money from it, because I feel like I'm part of the community and I'm helping keeping this business afloat. And it's uh it's something that I can do to help out with the economy too, because there's taxes involved with the sales, and then the taxes go to the government. I don't know what they're doing with it, but the it's helping, or at least I feel like it is. It's just something I like to do. I like to feel busy. I like to be, I don't really want to say important, but I want to feel like I matter to something or someone, to the community. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing in the booth. Maybe I can figure out something on my Facebook page. Maybe I can start doing the picture thing like I was talking about when I did the fundraiser that completely failed, which tells me that people don't have that much confidence in my abilities to actually do what I'm saying that I did. Um, I'm not I'm not real sure what that's about, but I do have an issue where I feel like I get a lot of people like me, but I don't have the support system that I need because people are not that supportive right now, and I don't know if it's just the particular bugs or if it's just that it's because everybody's in a rough patch or what, but it just didn't feel like people really wanted to help me. So the fundraiser failed. I'm not doing fundraisers again for that purpose or for personal purposes. I'll just have to figure things. But like right now, my personal expenses aren't that high, so that's okay. We should be good. Um, so at least there's that. Um, and I am, like I said, I'm really close to booth cost, and we're like the 20th. I have like 10 or 11 days or however long to make some more money, enough money to cover the booth cost. And then if I don't make booth costs, like I said, I only need like $3. And even if I don't have the $3, I'm pretty sure my son-in-law does. Um, but yeah, it's kind of tough, but I am doing okay, and that's good for right now. And then my roommate, oh, he's really excited because I made stroganoff. I've never seen somebody as skinny as he is get this excited about food. Apparently, he doesn't have much of an appetite, but he does like food. But yeah, he was telling me that his dad had heard that this food shortage that some people are talking about may not have hit yet and is expected um to hit around October when gas is potentially no longer available. Now, I don't know, I haven't heard anything about the gas running out in October, but I do know that we are running out of gas. And most of the vehicles that use to transport the supplies, products, whatever you want to call it, from one place to another are gas, are running off of gas. So one of the things we could do to fix the problem would be to figure out how to make these big trucks electric. And I know that the buses are electric, so we already kind of have an idea of what to do. I just don't think anybody's actually done it. So, but they need to look into that as some kind of transport vehicle for goods and stuff, for the goods to get from one point to the other that's electric. And they might even have to transport it from stations so that the trucks can drive and then charge. The truck can be charging, and then another truck can pick up the trailer and then go however much further or to another station where they can charge. That might have to be the kind of system they have going. Well, like I said, I don't think anybody's really working on setting that up because for some reason people just want to keep the big gas, and we're gonna run out of gas sooner or later. If it's not in October, it's gonna be it will happen, but I don't know that it's gonna happen in October. And I don't know that people need to freak out. But that also puts some emphasis on why I'm saying a victory garden. You can grow crops. Like I said, it may not be enough to get you through winter, but people can start doing crops and canning and uh okay, and freezing foods and all kinds of stuff like that. um get reusable containers uh for freezing stuff, and then you could just have it whenever, like in the freezer or whatever. And it may not last, like I said, it may not last you the whole winter, but that food that you can grow in your little garden um will take some pressure off of the supply chain. um I don't know, I was talking to my roommate and he's really on board with the idea of putting in raised boxes, the raised bed gardens, because I kind of want to do that so I don't have to bend over so much. um it's not as hard to harvest them as it would be if I put it straight in the ground. Plus I don't know where the pipes and stuff are. um because I live in town and I live in a house and it's an older house, and I don't know where all the pipes are and I don't know how deep they are. So my plan's not to do potatoes. I mean, we're like 3 miles from Idaho. We could probably walk to a potato farm. Not that I would advise it, but I'm saying that it is possible that we could walk to a potato farm. So I wasn't planning on growing potatoes, but I was thinking about some of the stuff that I remember being really easy to cultivate or grow when I was a kid. Um, uh, like carrots and onions and peas and squashes and oh my goodness. And then I'd like to do tomatoes and bell peppers because they grow well here. It's warmer here than it is in Whatcom County. So people were actually able to grow tomatoes with just like on their porch in Whatcom County. Tomatoes like hot. Then it's supposed to be warmer here, so the tomatoes should do fine just being outside. I need to get the little cage things, but I might need the little cage things for the bell peppers too, but because they're somewhere between a bush and a vine, and sometimes they're not strong enough to keep themselves up. So you put the little protective cage thing, and then they just kind of grow into it. And then the plant dies back, and if the plant completely dies, like in winter, whenever there's growing season's over, the plants will die back like most other plants. And then if the plant completely dies, then you can remove it and get a new one. Or if you need to clear off the foliage, you can pull out um, the cage to clean up the foliage and then put the cage back. Um, but yeah, that's something I want to do. But and I also want to get anaerobic digesters if we can find them. Um, because we do have food waste. It's really common for certain members of the household to put leftovers in the fridge and then not eat them. Plus, several people don't eat the pizza crust for whatever reason. So we do have stuff that we could put into the anaerobic digester that would create the the compost, the soil, and we wouldn't have to buy it. But then we'd have to put it somewhere. Maybe if we get anaerobic digesters, I could keep the coffee cans because the Folgers coffee cans are um the Folgers coffee cans are like really good for stuff like that. Um, they're not the Folgers coffee cup cans are this thicker plastic, and back when I was a kid, people used to paint them and use them as canisters. Um, because the Folgers, it's the red with the sticker. You have to get the sticker off. I don't even know how to do that, but probably figure it out. Like if we did something like that, you like paint it, and sometimes they leave the lid black. Because I seen somebody do some really pretty, like this aqua blue that my daughter really likes with butterflies on it, and they just left the lid black. Those looked really cool. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll keep the Folgers canisters if I don't have the boxes set up. Um, but yeah, hi G, meow. He's a good boy, aren't you, Gigi? Chew, my love, my darling. Yeah, he's coming to my lap because he wants to snuggle. He's such a weirdo. I love him. Yesterday I tried to take a nap and he came and cuddled with me. And then last night, my little paws are cold. His little paws are so cold. That's probably why he wants to snuggle. They're so cute. My little paws are cold. Last night his paws were really cold and he put them under the blankets and put them on my arm to try to get warm. Sometimes I think he's more like a boyfriend than any boyfriend I've ever had. Um, yes, you know that. Yes, you're a sweet boy. Not really my boyfriend, but sometimes it feels like it. He's so cute. So yeah, he was really cuddly last night because his paws were cold, and then after he was done being weird, such a little weirdo. He's just a sweet little kitty. Yeah. So we should probably look into gardening. Ooh. Oh yeah, I also found out my roommate's stepmom and her neighbor know a lot about gardening. So I could probably find out a whole bunch of stuff like planting seasons, like when to plant here, what grows here, um, and stuff like that that I don't really know um too much about that other people would. Uh, but I'm not sure if this area is really gonna get hit by a food shortage because I'm in Spokane and we've got like Walla Walla, which is famous for their onions. There's apple orchards all over here somewhere. We got potato, like I mentioned, we're like 3 miles from 3 or 4 miles from the Idaho border, so there's tons of potatoes. So I'm not sure. And then up in Washington, they grew everything. They grew everything from they grew corn, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. Um, so like I don't know that we will actually have a food shortage here because there's a lot of farming, dairy farming, all that kind of stuff in an area, and then it drops all the way down into California. There's kind of desert area in Nevada, and there's so that's the desert area doesn't have a lot of farming that I'm aware of. And then over in like Wyoming, there's a whole bunch of grain. I don't really know what else grown in California, and I know Hawaii is actually fairly close. I think Bellingham was one of the ports where we would get stuff from Hawaii. Um, I think it mostly went to Seattle or somewhere on the other side, but yeah, we were one of the port towns where a lot of Bellingham was one of the port towns where a lot of stuff would come in from places like Hawaii or I guess China too, because China's like right there. Um, I don't remember if we got stuff in from Russia, but we probably did. Um, and all kinds of stuff was coming in from Alaska because they do the fishing out, and then they would bring the boats into Bellingham, and they would just go from Bellingham to the processing plants, which a couple are in Bellingham, or they were before the flood. Um, I'm not sure if they're still okay, but yeah, a lot of the fish would just go to processing plants in Bellingham, and then the rest of it will go to some other processing plant. I'm not even sure where that was. Um, but yeah, so there was a lot of import export going on in Bellingham. So, um, I mean, probably not as much as a bigger city like Seattle, but there was stuff going on. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay. We are closer to the source, so we might not get hit real bad, but there's a whole bunch of people out there, like where my brother is, which I think is Kentucky, and other places that aren't that close to the source, and they're probably not going to be doing okay. Um, so we gotta get this figured out. We gotta get people doing more to help out. So this doesn't wind up becoming like a Great Depression situation. Um, and it may still, but I mean, we still have things that we can do to prevent it if we do it. And that was kind of one of the things with the Great Depression too. There were a couple of things that they could do to prevent from going fully into the depression. But the thing was that they'd had those big dust storms, which back then they didn't really have a lot of the equipment and science and stuff like that to be able to predict an event like that, which we have that now. And then also something was going on with the stock market that I'm not fully sure about, but there was a massive international crash, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Though it looks like some stuff not so good is happening with the stock market. Um, but I know we'll figure it out. Even if we do go into a Great Depression situation, we will be able to figure it out. And most people will be okay because most people did not die during the Great Depression because most people put on their big boy pants or big girl pants and they did what they needed to do in order to make sure that themselves and their families survived. And I think there's still most people, even in this day and age, can put on their big boy pants or the big girl pants and figure out what to do. And since we do have all this science and technology they didn't have back then, we can probably prevent some of the worst stuff that was happening from happening. I just don't know if people are going to get the people who can get on the ball. I don't know if they're going to get on that ball. Um, but I don't even know who those people are. Um, But anyway, we'll figure it out. Yeah, oh, whapping stuff. I don't know if this is picking that up, but he's whapping his tail. Apparently he doesn't like something I'm doing. Or he's just getting all excited because he's getting petted, one of the two. You excited because you're getting petted? Okay, he's excited because he's getting petted. He's very cute. But yes, I don't really have a way of editing my videos, so I just don't want them to get too long. And I don't want to be too flaky. But I think I did pretty good today. I'm not as flaky. I feel a little bit better. Hopefully the allergies will subside soon. But like I said, I love lilacs, but I'm very allergic and they are in their blooming season. So I may still have some allergy issues for a little bit. And we're hoping that the storm today doesn't get too bad. It shouldn't. So I'm gonna pop off and I hope you guys have a good day. And I hope you guys just can do a good life, and I hope everybody can just start doing better things and having better things. Because, like, I want everybody to have a better outlook and a better life. So, until I get a following and I can actually do lives, I'm going to be doing just updates and trying to remember my information. Oh, some of the stuff I knew is kind of in the fog zone. But like I said, I just found out we do have access to people who know stuff. So, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope everybody has a good day, and I hope the weather doesn't make you feel too achy. Bye.